traders, this is Blake Morrow. You are listening to the Morning Edge webinar. I want to welcome you back, and let's go ahead and go into the charts. But I got a question from Joe, and let's. He had a question about the cable. All right, and he goes, "Hey Blake, good morning. I was wondering if you could look at the pound dollar 240-minute pressure chart, which this is the pressure chart of the cable." Although it's been traveling higher for a few periods now, it's just beginning to move to 12 and 2 as of 7:30 a.m. Eastern. So that means just over the last, time interval, last couple hours actually, here in the 4-hour chart, it's really starting to accelerate. I was wondering your thoughts. Thanks for everything, Joe. Well, because it's the green line is pulling away like that, it's telling us that the momentum is accelerating, which obviously the pound has just been hitting new highs, over the last 30 minutes or so. So when I look at the 4-hour chart, what that tells me is don't stand in the way. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to continue higher, because I think one of the problems that the cable has at the moment is that the dollar is picking up steam against everything else. I mean, you can see the dollar, the euro is obviously weaker, the Kiwi sitting on support, the Swissy is firming up. So, obviously the cable can turn, but this suggests to me that if anything, I shouldn't be on the short side of the pound. Like for me, if I was going to be buying the cable, I would be buying the cable utilizing this chart if I had other currencies moving in that direction. This is where correlations really come into play. Come into play. So, Joe, I think that's a pretty good indication there. Let's not stand in front of the cable right now, because I mean, and you can see we're actually hitting highs right now. We're like 2 pips from the highs. I mean, it may not continue higher because of the rest of the market. I mean, like I said, the euro is going in the opposite direction. If anything, maybe it suggests that the euro pound will probably be a good short, But I tend to use correlations a lot, and in this case, that makes a lot of sense to me. It's all right. The cable shows some pretty good strength. Let's not get in the way. All right, let's talk about. Well, let's go into all the pairs here, and I'm going to start with the. Not with the Swissy, we're going to start with the euro dollar. So the euro dollar, really important support that we're coming on to. This is the 618 retracement. You can see we're getting close to this. Now, I told traders in our chat room, I'm going to tell you guys the same thing. If the euro rallies back to 110, I'm going to short it. The question is, are we even going to get up there? If we have some strong data today, I mean, the euro dollar could very easily press through this support. Now, this is going to be really critical support today. I'm not gonna suggest anything otherwise. 109.30, or actually the spike low here at 109.25, very critical support. That is the 618. It's the 108. 618, excuse me, and also the horizontal support. We break through that, we should see sub 109 levels today. That means, think about it. I just want you guys to think it through really quick, and I'm going to grab the pen here. If the data is really strong, okay, I don't want a green pen. Every day, what happens with Citrix is every day it changes up your pen color. So, if I change it to black, like right now, I'm going to put it on black. If I, when I log out, log back in, it might be blue or pink or, green or fuchsia. It's like, no, I want black. Anyway, it doesn't remember what I had. Okay, so let's say the data is strong today. Let's just, for argument's sake, data is strong today. We're gonna come through the 618. We're probably going to come down towards 109. Because you think about the ATR today, or the range that the euro has been in has probably been about 50 pips. We can extend easily out to 100 pips without a problem. So if we hit new lows on the day, you tack on another 100 pips, let's say. We get through 109 and we hit stops below 109, hit the 786 and then bounce. All right, that seems like a very likely outcome on strong data. Okay, likely outcome on strong data. Now, if you look at the euro, the range today has been 50 pips. The daily ATR is 120. So obviously, if we hit new highs or new lows, we got some moving to do if we decide to hit new highs or lows today. Okay, so that's why I'm looking at support in the euro dollar. It's like, okay, that's important support at 109 and a quarter, but if we break it, there's just for us to get to our average trading range, we could get down there pretty easily. All right, now resistance. Any rally back to this previous support, which is 110.20, is going to be good resistance. So if we get a rally to here, I'm a seller. Okay. So, maybe above 110 to 110.10, 110.20, something like that, I'm going to be looking to sell the euro dollar. But obviously the euro is really weak right now. So um, one of the I'll have to point something out here in a second, but we're going to write down 110.20. We got to show you. I'm going to jump into something really quick, just because it's moving. Okay, or close to moving. We're going to skip over. We're going to skip over a few of these currencies for a second, and I'm going to take you out to the Swedish krona. Look at the Swedish krona here, guys. You guys see it? It is so strong, and we are marching right into highs. And this was we wrote this down yesterday at 867. You know, I can't buy the Swedish krona. Well, let me see. I haven't tried to buy it in a while. Yeah, I still can't buy it. I just got an order rejected. But uh, uh, Bengt says my favorite since I'm from Sweden. Awesome. Well, the Swedish krona was one of my favorite currencies to trade. MB trading stopped allowing us to trade the Nordic currencies after the Swiss National Bank pulled the floor. Margin requirements are too high, and they're just, and for safety reasons. MB Trading, by the way, our parent company, obviously my broker, probably the most, I mean, I've been around a lot of currency brokers over the years. I have to say that MB Trading is probably the most conservative Forex broker out there. They really, really attempt to protect their traders from themselves. So, and I've gone around and around and around with the president of MB Trading over the last several months about the Swedish krona and the Norwegian krona. They want to prohibit them because the liquidity is too poor, and they're afraid of very volatile moves that may hurt individual traders, so they just stopped allowing it, which is a bummer because I would say it was one of my top three pairs that I used to love to trade was the Swedish krona. Anyway, I know many of you can trade it, and that's why I have to bring it to your attention. We are on the cusp of really breaking higher on, in a move that I don't think a lot of people really expect, right? Really strong move this year. Well, actually through 2014, and this year has been a year of just consolidation. But it looks like we are poised to move higher. And if we get strong data today, you got to watch the Swedish krona. I mean, it is ripe for a breakout. It has not gone down. Norwegian krona, same thing. I mean, look at how strong this thing is. I mean, how many people have looked at the Norwegian krona and say, "There's no way it's going higher than that. There's no way it's going to breach that 127% extension." And it has, and then what it's done is just held. I mean, very, very, very strong moves here. So anyway, we'll come back to those. I'll write down the levels later, but I just wanted to bring them to your attention that they are strong. Okay, here's the cable. So the cable, you know, has ooh, okay. Hold on a second. I hate this range, and I have to say after yesterday, yesterday is a perfect example of it. Like I have a love-hate relationship with the pound. Very similar to my golf game, love-hate relationship. It's like I trade the cable, and most of the time I'm frustrated with it, and then I'm like, why the hell do I even trade this thing? Kind of like when I play golf. Most of the time, I'm playing golf, and I'm asking myself, why am I even playing this stupid game that I'm so passionate about, but I hate it so much? And why do I get out here every month and just beat myself up? And then of course, I have one great swing where I get on the green on, my drive. I drive the green and I'm like, oh yeah, dude, I'm a great golfer. It keeps me in the game. And same thing with the cable. It's like yesterday I got stopped out of for 30 pips only to watch it drop another 80. And then I'm so frustrated with it, and I ask myself, why do I even trade it? And then, of course, I'll have a home run in the cable, and I'll say, oh, that's why I traded it. It's an awesome currency. Keep me trading it. It's the cable. But anyway, what I think we need to recognize with the cable is how strong the support is. And as long as we're above this blue line right here, I don't think there's really any reason to be on the short side. But what I will tell you is just looking at this, I mean, it's like we're struggling. It's a pretty, well, that's a 50% retracement right there. Okay. Obviously, got to keep an eye on it. But support is now at 156. Hmm. It's a tight range here. Actually, I'll write 155, 80 as well. 156.35. Really needs to break that to get things going. We were obviously in a range. Very frustrating one at that with the cable. Let's look at the Swissy. So the Swissy, we're approaching some pretty key resistance in the Swissy. All right. Obviously, I'm still long and enjoying it, being long the dollar Swiss. Um, we are approaching, though, a couple big levels here. So if you take the high that we peaked in March to the low back in May, okay, the 618 retracement comes in at 97.23. So let's just call it 97.25. This range extension should take us higher than that, but this is going to be a concern on our way up. 97.25. It is still bullish, as it was when we broke here the first time. Okay, once it broke there, it became bullish. Now we just got to find dips to buy it at, and This will be no different. 96.50 is support. If you get an opportunity to buy, here, I don't know, I'm going to remove that. If you get an opportunity to buy the Swissy down here at 96.50, you have to take advantage of it. Oh, the US dollar Swiss franc got to 96.50. It's a good place for a long. Well, I just lost about 30 listeners. That's good. Yeah, that's always pleasant. All right. All right. So 96.50. That would be a really, that, in my opinion, that would be a great place to be long the dollar Swiss if you can, if you can pick it up down there. Yes, the Greek Orthodox gods would be singing at that point. Um, I did. Did I tell you? I think I told you guys yesterday. My my sister, my sister's 9 years younger than me. She's we've got a really big age gap. She's a nurse practitioner, works with kids that have she's a specialist. She works with kids that have like brain head trauma. One of the things about Phoenix, Arizona is the medical community. There's a lot of specialized medicine here, and so they see every kid that like for example, kids that have drowned and almost died, but now have suffered from brain damage or some sort of head trauma. A lot of she writes a lot of you know specific uh, case studies for different universities and whatnot, and she's a real sharp young woman. She was heading out to Northern California for the weekend to spend some time with my mom, and she dropped her her dog off here. So I've got a damn zoo at my house, and they're all sitting on like around my feet this morning. And whenever I start singing, they all perk up, like oh my god, you're hurting my ears. Stop doing that. Uh, anyway, all right. So there's the. Let's talk about the yen. So the yen are really strong here, and man, this dollar yen. I mean, we're obviously still range bound, but we're really approaching some key resistance here. So let's drawing remove current. Okay. Let's see how important this resistance is, because from what I recall, it is a very important resistance. It is. Very big sell zone that the dollar yen's running into right here and right here. Okay. So anywhere between this 124.40 and 124, whatever the spike high is here, 60, big resistance. So I'm going to write down 124.60. 124.60 key level of resistance. We are still in a range, but you got to watch this dollar yen. It's sneaking up on us. Thomas says I can taste sick in my mouth. That the singing's that bad, that bad. Okay. Um, not really overbought here. I don't even know where support is on the yen. I mean, I don't. I guess it's right here. So any dip down to 123.80 should be pretty well supported, because if you imagine like it happening, like a dip down to here, even on some poor data, I mean, you're going to find support down here. So 123.80. Okay. Dollar Canadian. So the dollar Canadian, like I said, I was really happy with my pickup yesterday. Head and shoulder pattern, complex head and shoulder pattern, broke down through a slanted neckline, hit the target, reversed. I picked up at 120. My average is 128.86. Okay, that's my average. So my average is basically right here, and I'm long. We are facing resistance. This is at 130. Big deal. Okay. Crude oil shows maybe a possible hourly double top, possible. Okay, which will support the dollar Canadian more than likely, but 130 is going to be a big struggle for the pair. It's not going to be an easy feat for the dollar Canadian to scale into new highs. I mean, I don't think. Support now, any dip down to 129, there's going to be buyers. So if we have a we're bullish, but you know what? I mean, it's in a bullish trend, but I'm going to tell you this much: if we get a bunch of strong data points today, and the dollar Canadian makes it up to 130, and it fails there again, I probably will take my profits off the table. I'll just take my 100 pips, 100 some odd pips, and then just look to reload on a dip back down to 129. I'm thinking that's how I'm going to trade the dollar Canadian today. So I'm going to try to take some profits near 130 if we can get it. If it looks like the dollar is not going to go any further, like obviously I'll have to look at the euro and the cable and everything else too. All right, when I come back, we're going to do the Aussie and the Kiwi, the dollar index, the Swedish krona, Norwegian krona, peso. So don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. All right, guys and gals, this is Blake Morrow. We have some German inflation data that is coming out. Paul had mentioned it a little earlier. So, let me see here. Let's watch the euro dollar really quick. See if the euro dollar is going to react at all. Typically is not a big moving number unless you get a real, outside, print, something that's way above or below expectations. It might move the euro a little bit. Coffee. Coffee does a body good. It's only Thursday. Not really seeing any reaction to the euro just yet. Euro's a little firmer, but nothing too exciting. Okay. I'll be looking forward to see if the euro gets any type of move. Let's go over to the Kiwi. So, go.
They just posted, German Statistics Office says the July CPA data to be published at 12:05 GMT, so it's not going to be released till 7:05 or 8:05 Eastern time, so it's going to be delayed a few minutes.
Yeah, okay, so just in about 4 minutes. Okay, cool. Thanks, Paul. All right, appreciate that. Let's go over to the, we can do the Kiwi in the meantime. So the Kiwi is on really strong support here, and I mean, the technician in me says I need to buy the Kiwi right now. It says I should buy the Kiwi, put my stop in maybe about 15, 20 pips below and get long. I if for those of you that want to trade the dollar to the short side, that's probably not a bad idea. Okay, but I'm giving you the buts. But you know, in 28 minutes, we have data coming out, a, a swath of data that's going to be coming out that could really move the dollar. So, that's the risk that you have to be willing to take. I personally am not willing to take that risk right now. We are retesting the broken trend line, trend line, trend line, trend line, broken, retest. We're here. Okay, we're here. 786 retracement comes in at 65.95. So let's just write that number down. If that breaks, Kiwi's going to have all sorts of problems. I'll probably be looking to short the Kiwi. 65.95. Should we get below that 786 retracement? Because then we're coming out of the channel. Pretty nice, tidy little channel that we've got coming out of the channel. We break a 786. We drop back below the trend line. It's a bunch of selling coming in, Now, resistance on any rally from here. Now, let's get rid of these lines because I drew them out yesterday, but because we're obviously where, we're either going to go down there or we're going to go up here. So we're here. So now the question is, if we do rally, how far are we going to rally to? That previous support right there comes in at 66. 67, so 66, 65. It's going to offer some sellers. Point 66, 65 be a resistance. And we went into a range environment the last couple of days, but we may go right back into a bearish trend. I'm just saying. Okay. The Aussie looks sick. Like sickly. Like not good. We drew this yesterday. How significant is that? Very. Okay. We're just wedging lower. Looks dangerous. Looks very dangerous to be long. Any rally in the Aussie now to that resistance, 73 and a quarter, just going to find sellers. 73.25, 72.25, right? Is that correct? No. 72, I'm sorry, that's 72.56. 58. I mean, we're 10 pips from I'll just write down 55. I mean, we're basically 10 pips away from breaking down. Look how sickly the Aussie looks. And remember, there's some support down here. Let's go over to the weekly chart. So 72.35, 72, 71. A lot of support down here. 72.35 I'll have to write down. So 72.35, 72.55, a lot of support. You can see the hesitation. So there's a reason why, traders are a little hesitant selling down here. There's just a ton of support. Oh, the inflation data is out. Thanks, Paulie. 0.2%, 0.2%. Consensus of 0.3%. So I came in a little weaker, but didn't move the euro. And like I said, with German inflation data, unless it's really outside of expectations, like bonkers strong or bonkers weak, you're not going to see a huge move in the euro dollar. And it came in a little weaker, but it's not moving the euro much. Okay, so the Aussie dollar, but you can see reason why there's a lot of support. Now I'm gonna give you guys again. I'm gonna give you guys my longer term analysis of the Aussie because I want you to understand where we're at right here and my thoughts. So when you look at the Aussie dollar, to me, if you look at that support line, that blue line that's going across the bottom, that trend line support, we're there pretty much. You can see multiple fib confluence. 618, that is a 786. This is a 127% extension. Let's get rid of this really quick. I mean, we've got so much support here on the Aussie dollar. It makes sense to get long the Aussie somewhere down here. It does. It really does. Like I look at the Aussie and I'm like, man, I've got to buy it here, right? Here's my biggest issue with the Aussie. You guys know that I think the equity markets are carving a rounded top. I think the equity markets are doing this. Now, how low is the equity market going to go? I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's going to go too low. I think we'll probably just do that. But if we start to roll over, that should put downside pressure on the Aussie. So although I look at this support and go, man, 71, 72 cents, I should be buying here. It looks bearish, guys. It really does. And that's a big red monthly candle that we're going to have. Big red candles usually followed by other big red candles. So although the Aussie's at really, really critical support, I'm grappling with the idea that I actually should be buying it. I really don't. I think I should be doing the opposite. I think I should be selling, looking for a severe break below this support, and then be a buyer down here at 62 cents. Okay, to me, the Aussie looks like it's going to break lower, and to me, it just looks like it's not gonna hold. And like I said, if the equity markets just start to roll over too, which I think is going to happen, that's just going to put further downside pressure on the Aussie. Now, there's going to be a point when the stock market is going down and the Aussie is going to stop going down. And when that starts to happen, that'll suggest to me that it's time to buy the Aussie. But right now, I just don't feel like that's the case. Okay. Let's go over to the dollar index. Look at the Brazilian real, still going down. Hike rates, who cares? Here's the dollar. So the dollar held the 38% retracement yesterday. That low at 96.25 is very important. And resistance now. What's that high? $97.62. So 97.60 is going to be resistance today. Okay, let's go take a look at the, and we're in a range. Let's go take a look at the peso and the Swedish krona. Let's see how those all look. See if the peso is still trying to break out. I mean, look at this peso. I mean, what the hell? This thing is so strong. Next resistance comes in at 1645, supports at 1635. Yep. Resistance is 1646. Now we have to write down the Swedish krona and the Norwegian krona because they look like they're going higher. Here's the Norwegian krona. Key resistance comes in at 827. Breaks above that. It's be breakout city. It's bullish, and as long as we hold, like yesterday, we held right above our support, which comes in at 809. So as long as we're above that, we have to stay bullish. Swedish krona, 867. What's today's high? 867. That's what we wrote down yesterday. That held us today. But if we break that, 8.67, it's really key resistance. I mean, we're in a range, but we can turn bullish if that breaks, and then support at 850 still. It's a range, but it's close to turning bullish. There's your bias chart. It's done. It is done. Yes, sir.